The final score, Cardiff City 4, Wrexham 1. Sounds bad. In terms of where it leaves us in the league, it is bad. Don't deny that. Again, though, we've put in a performance there, and the scoreline hasn't really reflected it. Really, a positive performance by us, and there are a number of things that I particularly liked. One of which, I suppose, is the way we set ourselves up, because it was the same as usual. We've been really good at catching Cardiff out with little unexpected twists to our approach, which have just thrown them a bit and given us early advantages. This time, okay, I'm not naive. It's not as if you set up identically every single game. You certainly don't. But we essentially played our normal shape, didn't throw anything at them, and had the better of the starting of the game. I mean, the first half hour or so, I would say we were the better team against a Cardiff side who had that pace and quality which would make the difference in the end. So they were breaking on us well. But we were the side, I thought, who were looking more promising in our build-up play. There was an opening opportunity. Fionn Price in 25 yards, ripping a long-range shot just off target. Price, of course, top scorer in the division. Tremendous talent, but she couldn't hit the target on this occasion. Before Wrexham started to create half chances, shall we say? Maybe more than that. Lily Jones was full of energy again, really doing well, winning a tackle against Price in the full-back position, pulling it back to the edge of the area. Suckley drove the ball in, and Shannon Evans, who was outstanding at the back, made a brilliant block to deny Wrexham striker. Then it was Phoebe Davis feeding the ball down to the edge of the box, right corner, where Liv Fuller drove in the shot. That was blocked by Evans, of course. Came straight back to her. She had another snapshot. Didn't quite get hold of it, although Chamberlain fumbled a little before covering it. No danger from the rebound, but only Chamberlain had a little fumble in the second half when she was terrific, but more of that later. Halfway through the half, another opportunity for Wrexham. Lovett feeding it down the flank. Cara Jones playing a really nice 1-2 with Rosie Hughes feeding the ball into the middle, and I think it was aimed at Rosie Hughes, but Brooke Cairns got into a great position and pivoted centrally about 15 yards out, hit a great dipping shot. Brilliant save by Chamberlain to tip her over the bar. It looked over her and in, and she managed to backpedal and just get enough on it. And that's how it tends to go with us against Cardiff, doesn't it? We look good, can't quite get that goal, and then they will strike. And it did come a bit against the play when 4 minutes later they scored. I have to say, I know I always say this, but it's because I feel it's true. The reason we are unfortunate is they do have great quality, Cardiff, and as you often see, a very strong team sometimes might be outplayed, but when they get the opportunities in the box at both ends, they can make it count. And this is the case today, where Cardiff were much more ruthless than we were, and also, Chamberlain, their goalkeeper, in the end, you could argue, is by far the outstanding player on the pitch. The goal is a bit too easy from Wrexham's point of view, although it's a fine finish. Bowen, from deep, drives the ball over the top, down the right channel. Kernock has enough pace to get away from Karen Allen and just nails a great finish from the edge of the area. She had time to bring it closer, but she blasts it early, and Craven has very little chance of stopping that. Hardly got time to set herself before the ball's been hit, and Cardiff are in the lead, and we look shaky for a couple of minutes then, and it could have gone away from us. Owen with a great run down the right-hand side, beats two players, and from a tight angle, chips the ball in. It hits the bar and bounces away to safety. At the time, I felt it was a mishit cross. Looking at it again, actually, it was a very tight angle, but it was close enough to maybe be tempted to try a chip. So, yeah, maybe it was deliberate. But anyway, we were wobbling, and then 10 minutes before half-time, we concede a penalty, and the game's really gone away from us. 2 goals in 7 minutes. Got to talk about the penalty decision. I felt at the time it was harsh. Looking at it again, I think it's harsh. I maybe can understand it in a way. It's Walklett turning really nicely in the middle of the pitch, spreading her out to the left-hand side. Cook cutting inside, runs at Liv Fuller, gets past her. Fuller does stick her leg out, and frankly, Cook runs into her leg. I don't really see much argument against that, really. It's one of those, isn't it? for me, Cook has initiated the contact, and I don't quite understand why, because she's in on goal. But on the other hand, Fuller's not at all going for the player, but she does leave her leg dangling and invites Cook to do that if she wishes. So the ref gives it. Price steps up, drills it into the bottom left corner. 8th goal of the season for her. And Cardiff finished the half strongly, and we're really in a situation here of having to hold on to the half-time whistle. They only really have one chance. Price ripping at a shot from a free kick from some distance, which goes over the bar. We're dealt a blow, though, when Lily Jones has to go off. She took a bang to the head and had to go off. Mary Gibbard comes on, and actually she has an excellent second half. We have to make a change at half-time as well. I said Karen Allen coming back from injury has to go off, and Nat Clark coming back into the team comes on in her place. And we start positively. We're trying to get at Cardiff, and we have a moment when the ball's played into the box. The defender miscontrols it. Gibbard does well to latch onto it and prod it backwards, and Fuller from the edge of the area hits the shot well, goes just wide of the right post, with Chamberlain lunging full stretch, concerned that it might be on target. But unfortunately, 2 down against a high-quality side, the last thing you can afford is for something to go wrong at the start of the half, and it happens again. Same pattern as Britain Ferry, isn't it, really? We come out thinking, OK, with 2 goals down, we've got to get at them. And, 5 minutes into the second half, it's 3-0. This one, Barry playing a good ball over the top, and again, they've managed to get clear. Cook was very good on the left-hand side. She comes inside, and from a tightish angle, again, not as tight as the one she hit the post with, Bowen did, rather. Owen, even. Yeah, I got it right eventually. Cook drills it in with power. Really good finish. Again, taking an early finish, just not giving Craven the time, perhaps, to set herself. But, a couple of good finishes that beat her with that. Wrexham make a change. Lightfoot getting knocked around, has to come off. Pritchard comes on. Cara Jones switches to the left. And this is where it gets cruel, because I'm sure you're thinking, hang on, didn't you say at the start Wrexham were unlucky? Well, I don't want to push the unlucky thing too much, because we are 3-0 down. But the last half hour belongs to us. Talking afterwards to Cardiff people, they were all a bit rattled by our strong finish, because in this last half hour we really, really play well. It kind of starts out just after the hour mark, when we force 4 really good positions in the space of about 3 minutes. Don't take advantage of them, and again, that's the difference. We don't quite get that final pass in, or good defending foils us, and that's the difference between the two teams. But we are really pushing them back. Whether there's an element of game management here, and Cardiff just thinking, OK, we're 3 up now, let's just control this game and let it run out. If it is, it doesn't work, because they cede control to us. Gibbard's playing higher up the pitch, off the strikers. Suckley's dropping off quite a lot and trying to create. And Hughes is making all sorts of runs and trying to get in. She's given offside a heck of a lot. And a lot of them are really close. In the end, she gets booked for complaining about one of them. There's there's an important one as well, which the replay doesn't help us out with. But anyway, we're causing them issues. The first moment comes when the ball is played into the box by Fuller. Gibbard, it hits her by Hughes, and Gibbard, it hits her heel. It's really unlucky. She's running into a great position. The pass just doesn't quite fall where she expects, and it bounces away from her rather than her being in on goal. Then Cara Jones does really well, wins the ball, works it inside. Suckley in the box is looking to turn the last defender about 10 yards out, and Evans makes a very good last-ditch save, tackle rather, to deny her. Then it's a lovely piece of play in midfield by Suckley, helping the ball forwards. Evans has to make an excellent tackle on Rosie Hughes as she accelerates around the side of her and is about to shoot from, again, within the 10 yards of goal. Great pass by Suckley, great pace by Hughes. Brilliant defending, though, unfortunately, for Wrexham. And again, then, Phoebe Davis with a tremendous pass from her own half puts Hughes in on goal, 1-on-1. She's clear of Evans. The flag goes up. Like, this is the one the TV replay doesn't help us with, unfortunately, because she's out of the picture when the ball's played. When she's in the box, she is clear of the last defender by a distance. You can't tell for sure. Going back and freezing it at the moment that Davis hits it and then just going forwards frame by frame. The fact that she's sprinting and the defenders are static means it probably was pretty close, but we can't say for certain. So, I've got to hold my hands up on that one. 20 minutes from the end, though, we get that goal. Because another feature is that, Lily Jones is putting some good set pieces in. Gibbard comes in, and she starts putting some great set pieces in. And 20 minutes from the end, we profit from them. Gibbard taking it really quickly, Suckley getting up around the penalty spot, really good header, powerfully downwards, beats Chamberlain, and Wrexham have pulled one goal back, 3-1. Got to apologise to Wade for Suckley as well, because I just kept saying it was Rosie Hughes who scored it. I was convinced it was. And when I saw Suckley's name being announced on the Cymru football and everything, oh, that's a bit of a basic mistake. Well, basic mistake was mine. It's definitely Suckley's goal. And a really good finish from some excellent delivery. And at the restart, we get straight at them. Obviously, if we get another goal now, this game is really on. And goodness me, do we go for it. Cairns playing a through ball. Hughes sprinting down to it. Chamberlain coming off her line and saving bravely at her feet. And in the last quarter of an hour, Chamberlain really comes in with her own and starts adding to that save she made from Cairns in the first half. Suckley feeding a great cross in from the right-hand side. Gibbard with a really clever flick-on header from around the penalty spot. Chamberlain, great footwork, scrambling across to her right, just about claws it out of the bottom corner. The corner comes in. It's half cleared. Phoebe Davis has a chance to hit it from the edge of the D, but she can't keep it down. Then it's another Gibbard cross, swept in towards the near post. There's a bit of a ricochet. It bobbles around in the 6-yard box for a moment. It comes back out. Davis with a nicely played ball into Suckley, who helps it around the corner, and Cara Jones is unmarked on the corner of the 6-yard box, strikes it cleanly, and Chamberlain gets done really well to her left to push it around the post. Another good save from her. And then another opportunity as well. And this one's cruel. Really, really cruel. Fuller feeding the ball forwards. The ball is switched across by Cairns to... beg your pardon. There was another one before that, wasn't it? Beg your pardon. Gibbard sweeping in a corner. The ball bobbling around. Fuller hits it from about 10 yards out. It looks like it's going in. And it hits Erin Lovett. It's a lot like that moment at TNS where Brooke Cairns has scored, but unluckily it hits Rosie Hughes. Slight difference. I think Chamberlain probably would have got across to this, but it's a big moment. Fuller's got a clear sight 8 yards out, strikes it. Unluckily, it strikes a teammate. And of course, that takes the pace off it, and it's straightforward enough to clear. Wrexham continue to push on. A throw-in to Cara Jones allows her to turn it on. She does well on the left-hand side. Works a little triangle with Gibbard and Hughes. The ball played in. Suckley is in a real position here now. And it's just crowded out. The centre-backs managed to get to her just outside the 6-yard box in the central position and stop her from getting her shot off. It was, again, a promising moment of Wrexham having players overs in the box and couldn't quite manage it. And within a minute, again, it's the ball forwards by Hughes dropping deep. Gibbard lays her off, and Liv Fuller from a good 30 yards hits a magnificent dipping shot. For once, Chamberlain is beaten, and it hits the bar and bounces back out again. A catalogue of misfortune in a half hour of excellent play from Wrexham. There's more to come. 2 minutes left. Clark makes a really, really good interception and feeds the ball in. It just clips a defender and flicks up in the air, and Suckley, wonderful technique, just outside the D, turns, and as it comes down, hits a tremendous volley, which, unfortunately for Wrexham, Chamberlain lunges to her right and again saves really well. Katie Sharp comes on in the 89th minute for Lovett. I think the only real reason Sharp can get up maybe and get ahead on some set pieces, but frustratingly for Wrexham, almost immediately, Cardiff strike. Owen with a good interception, works it wide. Colley feeds it into the middle, and Billingham is one-on-one, draws Craven and slots it into the bottom left corner. Really good finish by her. And fair play to Wrexham. 4-1 down in added time. They keep going and keep going. And we carve out the last chance of the game with a really nice, fluent move through the middle. Cara Jones working a 1-2 with Gibbard and then carrying the ball forwards really well, helping it forwards to Hughes, who dummies it. and it goes through to Gibbard, who plays the through pass just with the 6 inches too much on it, and Chamberlain races out to save at Suckley's feet. And we've lost 4-1, and it puts us in a perilous position in the league because the gap's opened up now between us and fourth place. But, you can't help but, again, feel hard done by and frustrated. Credit to Cardiff, they're top for a reason, and it's because when they have tough tests like this, they can come through. I'm not at all trying to denigrate them. And 3 times we've given a really tough game, and they have dug in and come through it. This one, obviously, is not as close as the other 2-2-0s, but we actually, I'd say, made more chances than in those 2 games, even though we had more control of those 2 games. And Chamberlain was worked very, very hard indeed. Looking at the performances, Craven will be disappointed that the delivery, the early taken shots have got past her, but they're strong finishes. I don't think she should be too concerned by it. Her handling continues to look really confident on set pieces. And she set up one of the chances with a really good early throw as well, which got things moving. At the back, Karen Allen had to come off at half-time. She was taking a few knocks, and it looked like at points it was, she wasn't getting much help from the ref, I felt, on occasions, and it made it look difficult. I think she really had to dig deep to get through that first half by the looks of it. Davis and Lovett made a lot of very strong tackles, and Davis prompting with some good passes forwards as well. And Lovett had a couple of really nice moves. She's in good, ferocious form at the moment. The wing-backs, Lightfoot was lively intermittently, but again took that knock that meant she had to come off. Cara Jones looked more involved on the left-hand side. She was a main player in the way that we did so well in that last half hour. Lots of energy, cutting inside more onto a stronger foot, and some good link-up play, carrying the ball well, and it was good to see the threat that she had. In the middle of the pitch, Fuller again, strong and in control, good interventions when we haven't got the ball, intelligent use of the ball. She was really trying to switch that ball out to Pritchard as often as possible, trying to stretch Cardiff. Had some half chances and the one that hit the bar as well. Good all-round performance from Fuller. Ahead of her, Brooke Cairns, again, very tidy on the ball, very, looks after that ball really well. Good progressive passing too. What a shame that Chamberlain denied her when she had that terrific effort in the first half. And then Lily Jones again. Lily Jones is just playing at such a good level. And although Gibbard did really well when she came on, it really hurt us that Lily Jones had to go off because she was energetic, she was getting at Cardiff, she was everywhere as usual. Up front, Suckley played the match for me. She scored a goal, as I now know, and also I just thought that she was very creative, especially in the second half, dropping a bit deeper. She was looking around, trying to make things happen. I mean, I always say, she's a front foot player. She's always looking for a chance to shoot. She's always looking for a chance to play the killer pass. She's always looking to play the crossing. And sometimes that can be a detrimental for a player because you're trying to force things too much. And in some situations, you need maybe to look at continuity. But she is always a player who can make something happen. And she made the chance for Gibbard, which was brilliantly saved. She scores the goal. She's constantly involved. She's battling away. I was a touch concerned after she got a yellow card that she might get another because she was not pulling out of tackles, because she was absolutely wholeheartedly wanting to Wrexham to win. Brilliant performance, I thought, by her. And a lot of credit for Rosie Hughes as well, whose movement and desire to run at defenders and her touch was really good, I thought. On another day, she'd have knocked a couple in, but the chances weren't quite falling for her. And when she did, she was up against superb defenders like Shannon Evans. The subs, Mary Gibbard, tremendous, I thought, in the second half, getting close to the strikers, a genuine goal threat, and really looking to play those final passes. She was getting close to the strikers and beyond them. Just what you want from an attacking midfielder. And she scared Cardiff. They were concerned by the fact that she was popping up. I think in a way, although it was unintentional, this was the thing that surprised Cardiff. Gibbard getting so close to the front too, often getting ahead of Suckley as well. And sometimes Hughes, and just given that extra element of attacking threat. It was good to see, and Cardiff didn't deal with her that well, I didn't think. She found space between the lines quite easily as well. And the other subs, well, I thought Nat Clark did well when she came on. She was strong at the back, started the centre of the three, then moved over to the right-hand side, and her passing was allowing her to get a good flow of the ball into Pritchard and into the centre of the pitch. So that was a positive performance, I thought, by her coming back into the team. Rebecca Pritchard, of course, came on and was energetic down the right-hand side, got some crosses in. It was a shame because she was taking up some good positions and ended up chasing a lot of slightly overhit passes that were going out of play. But she stretched play well and played her role in that improved second half. Katie Sharp was only on for a moment or two, didn't have much chance to do anything. Couldn't blame her for the goal that went in soon afterwards. But Cardiff were class. Price and Cook was so good down the flanks. Barry's support of Kernock, who ran into the channels and caused the defenders problems, was really, really good. Chamberlain was outstanding. Shannon Evans was outstanding at centre-back. There was a lot to praise. Owen was good getting forwards from right-back as well. There was a lot to like about the way Cardiff play. Walkless is a good player who controls play intelligently. I don't think they're quite as strong as last season, but I still struggle to see how anyone's going to finish above them, in all honesty. It's no disgrace whatsoever to lose 4-1 to them when you've made a good fist of it. And like I said, there was a lot of respect paid to Wrexham, to me, after the match from Cardiff City people who recognised what we'd done. But the sad truth is that game doesn't help our position at all. So again, well played. Again, there's a lot to admire. But again, we lost to them. With the final score of Cardiff City 4, Wrexham 1, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.